everybody. We finally have some of the videos from the gameplay of the IQ Qualifier. This is the third qualifier in a 4-qualifier series, followed by the 5th tournament, which is basically the tournament that everybody's qualifying for, right? Basically, every single qualifier, people get tournaments for top cutting, depending on what position they get. And at the end of the day, there's a whole slew of people that will be selected. I believe it's 24 to take part in the 32-person tournament, the Invitational, after all 4 qualifiers are done. So I think I got that right. So anyways, this is day 1 of Swiss. I was able to cast with the man, the myth, the legend, Nolagold, the pioneer of Zombie Ash and Casino. So had an awesome time with him, honestly. It was fantastic casting with him. All of his information, all the links and that good stuff will be in the description below if you want to go ahead and check him out. He has a YouTube channel as well as obviously the Twitch, which I casted on his channel alongside him this time. So without further ado, we're going to start with round 2 because round 1 was a little funky. We got in a little bit late, no big deal. But round 2, we have TippyTipz versus RoxRex.
In that turn.
Oh, looks like they are getting into the game, though, if you want to head over.
All right.
Sorry to interrupt you. It looks like we actually missed the first couple of turns.
Okay.
This is good, though. This means we could talk for days about Legends.
We could. We totally could. We have TippyTipz on the bottom here. TippyTipz playing the TF Gangplank deck. It looks like a Boulevard Mirror. RoxRex is on Swain TF.
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So we'll see. Oh, God, we get the Fearsome Poro. We have the super scary Fearsome Poro, which actually now with the Petty Office is going to force out the Petty Officer block. So this feels a little good.
Yeah. That was the only available blocker for that thing.
Poro's getting value. Let's go.
Yeah, and you wouldn't think that block would be the block, but denying the Gangplank level up is very big. So that fearsome Poro was more threatening than it looked.
Well, it's exactly why. What's the name of the 1-drop fearsome elusive?
The Cutthroat.
Cutthroat. Yeah, I always forget about that card. That's why that card is good, because even though it's like, okay, it's a 1/1 elusive, stuff like you just mentioned, like the Gangplank level up, or sometimes it was played in some of the more aggressive Sejuani decks, that matters. And that 1 damage suddenly is no longer just 1 damage. It represents a lot more towards a win condition.
Yeah, leveling up Gangplank's very big, especially if you get it down on turn 6 or turn 5 or 6, a level up. Can really wipe the board, especially in these Baj Nox matches, because a lot of the threats, a lot of the units have low toughness. You see two being generally the highest.
Yep. Yeah, and so is this number at the top left? I'm assuming this is the ping of TippyTipz.
It looks like a ping counter because it's fluctuating fast.
Yeah, wow, his internet is all over the place. Sorry, man, it feels bad.
Oh man.
So we have all the blocks getting lined up here with these spiderlings. So RoxRex going to avoid taking damage and also get what looks to be a decent amount of trades. But like you mentioned earlier, we are going to get at least 2 damage through for this Gangplank, towards this Gangplank level up. And we already have a Gangplank in hand too. So I would not be surprised if we see it come down here. And it looks like TippyTipz is going to go that route.
Yeah, it's 2 of 5 right now. No spells to support with this barrel. The barrel could probably draw an attack from RoxRex, though. And hit the Plunder. Doesn't, declines the Jagged Butcher on the Plunder to get the Gangplank. Looks like TippyTipz' hand is pretty top end here. Picks up the Make It Rain, though. That's huge with this barrel here, depending on how RoxRex develops.
Yeah, right now you don't even need the barrels, unfortunately.
No.
Bad, but okay, this... Oh, that's still not the greatest with these barrels with the Make It Rain, but it looks like he's going to go ahead and fire it off. Does it hit the... Okay. All right, so we still got pretty good targets here. We got the best possible result, actually, I think.
Gets all 3. Wouldn't be surprised to see maybe a Swain's Ravens flock to finish off the Gangplank and then open up that open attack with the Swain.
Wow. Wow. I'm so really valuing. So Rock's really valuing the damage on the Swain there, not wanting it to dip too low. I mean, do you agree with that? Targeting those kegs there just to avoid the 2 extra damage on the Swain?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't because this Gangplank, obviously RoxRex is showing does not have the Ravenous Flock. So this trade, I think RoxRex is looking to take, especially if he has maybe a Leviathan, and just try and slow the game down, because traditionally in this match, the Swain deck is the control deck. So if he had to block with the Swain, not taking damage against Gangplank, probably setting up the Swain as a blocker on the next turn, I think, was the plan there.
I think that's why we saw that emote from RoxRex there. Just a little, maybe a little bit of a misplay by Rox, but we'll see what happens here. We are heading into a turn 8 where no lack of 8 drops from TippyTipz here. No, these have been also the warning shot to pair with the Riptide.
Yeah, the warning shot was a really big pickup, because after using the Make It Rain last turn, really didn't have a great way or any way to hit the Plunder with the Riptide on this turn, which is going to be really big against this Leviathan.
Leviathan, man, this card. Do you think Leviathan's a little bit OP?
I think it is very strong, and it is maybe overpowered, but whenever you get in the range of 8 drops and higher, I think the cards are supposed to be that powerful. They're supposed to be game enders. Yeah, they're all supposed to finish the game. You look at this, you look at Rex, you look at Aurelian Soul, Captain Farron on the field. They're all meant to close the game, and
they're basically champions at that point. Like,
they're in the weight class.
Is a champion.
Yeah, and if you disagree with that statement, he finds a champion. So
so one way or the other, you're still champion.
So we have Guillotine to close out the Captain, but sitting at 14 life, no healing in RoxRex deck. If there can be 2 damage found, which we see plenty in TippyTipz' hand, this game is definitely going to be closing out in the next couple turns. Going to have to deal with this Leviathan Swain. Counter push is just as strong.
Wow. This is... wow. Talk about some RNG.
Wow,
help there. Wow. Whew.
Yeah,
that's rough for RoxRex. Oh, my God.
7 shots. Clearing them both out is very huge.
I'm pretty sure, I wish we need like an odds calculator. Like, I can't, that's going to be like
Rex
less
math?
than 10%. Wow. That's crazy. Yep, there's the poor remote. And even as the 3 deaths, wow, Jesus. Talk about Riptide, man. Whew. This is to add insult to injury, we're just going to draw all Riptides here on Tippy's side of the field, and plus the Decimate, so no lack of damage to finish this game out for TippyTipz.
Yeah, Decimate and a Rex here. Oh, man. This is, no lack for sure. This game is going to be closed out quick. And then, really, that Rex hit really sealed the game, because shutting off Rex's counter push.
Yep. Yeah.
really cleared the way for these Decimates. Because it was looking close, having the Noxian Guillotine for the Farron, because the Farron was a huge issue, was big to, because if you have to be the Decimate player and run out these Decimates against threats that are pushing more than 4 damage themselves, it doesn't feel that great using 1 action on 4 damage when 1 attack can do 12.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. And I think the issue here for Rox was, Tippy was able to be pretty healthy going into turn 8, and then now that we're at turn 8, we've made it here, we're healthy. All right, we have 3 8-drops in our hands. So, you're at that point, you're probably going to have a higher strength of average strength of card than your opponent, and that's exactly what we're seeing here.
I'm digging Rex's style here, hitting him with the harsh winds off the Mage Seeker, off the Petty Officer, and also not failing to include the Swain emote in the Swain deck. Max style.
I was gonna say I'm digging Rox's emote game too.
Yeah. It doesn't add up to match points, but man, whenever it comes to style points, you got points coming from these casters, man.
Hey, yeah, you gotta entertain too, right? Like, we can't be the players gonna help us.
So we'll see
So,
what comes in next. It looks like the Lee Sin deck made it through the ban, so we're not going to get to see that Fiora Shin. Relentless Pursuit.
wait, you said it looks like the Lee. Oh no, yeah, right. We are gonna see this this Lee Sin deck. And all right, Tasty Fey Folk, Nola. Do you
Ooh.
like this card?
Yeah. Yeah, I think, I don't know. I've been playing a lot of Expedition the last couple days, so maybe I'm biased to being good, but and like we mentioned earlier in the cast, Mystic Shot's not around, so it's almost reasonable, I think, and I think you have to have it in these Ionia decks to catch up against the aggro decks. I think it's a necessary evil. Less so good and more of a necessary evil at this point, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And so we are actually not technically going to get like a least or wait, is this TippyTipz says? Okay, sorry, I pulled up the Fiora Shen deck. So we aren't technically Lee Sin mirror match, but we are going to see two Lee Sin decks go head to head. One of which is a Lee Sin Trundle. So very curious to see how this works out on the side of RoxRex if this Lee Sin Trundle is going to be able to take down this Zed Lee Sin.
Well, it does play a lot of spells. You have Troll Chant, you have Challenge and Sonic Wave. Those are things that you look for. Challenges are good against the Zed and the Lee Sin if their spell mana is a little down, so that's going to be good. Having access to one Will of Ionia is good if Overwhelm gets put on one of these units, being able to clear that up. But and a decent number of stuns. I mean, there's 3 Palms and 3 Steel Tempests, so the stuns are good. And you see River Shaper pick up a card here. And Trundle can close the game pretty quick as well. So
yeah,
if he could,
I think this River Shaper early is a pretty big deal for Rox too. I always feel like going to win the game. That might be the same case for Rox's deck.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. It seems like your mic's cutting out a little bit, brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I noticed this on one of your casts recently. Just
somebody told me that too. Yeah.
So I don't know what it is, but it does look like this River Shaper is getting another Troll Chant. That's not going to keep it alive against the Zed. It's going to need more. We see the Elixir here. No lack of spells with this River Shaper continually getting into combat. Pale Cascade looks to end the card advantage engine. You see TippyTipz hovering over it. Not playing. Let's see if there's another spell from Rex. Maybe a stun. We might see a stun. We've already seen 2 Troll Chants, so there's possibility for 1 more Troll Chant. 2 more Elixirs. Nope, it's going to end this card advantage field day that the River Shaper was having. And as we see, the Bastion still on the Zed. Can't stun the Zed because of the Bastion. It's a serious threat against mid-range and control decks. Slower decks that don't develop well onto the board or develop strong onto the board do suffer from the Zed part of this Lee Sin deck.
Yeah, this is where Zed can kind of allow this deck to start pulling away and just be super aggressive before your opponent can really do anything. Like we said, Trundle can finish. We're on turn 5 now. Rox is on 4 mana, not going to get this Trundle down just yet, and we still have this Zed that we have to deal with a Bastion. So I don't think this is going to leave the field anytime soon.
Yeah, and plenty of support spells. I think that is the answer to this match here. We see a Concussive Palm just to take out the Spell Shield.
Probably one of the better ways to deal with the Spell Shield. It doesn't feel as bad because at least you still have the 3/2 that's going to come out, and it is going to be able to, it looks like, get a block out of one of these Solari Priestesses. So we'll see if Tippy, nope, just going to let the 3 damage through. So no value there.
Yeah, I think Tippy identifies himself, especially drawing the Zed instead of Lee Sin, as the aggressor in this match. For sure. So not going to block and trying to push for more damage. Going to have to, expects Rex to have to do something about this Lee Sin, about this Zed. So probably going to be able to get 1 damage out of that blocker on this turn instead of blocking.
Man, this Zed just put in work too.
Yeah,
this is going to be a pretty big turn.
Yeah, big turn. I think that's what gives the advantage to this deck, because both decks have plenty of spells. You see it, River Shaper, plenty of spells on one side, and you see a whole hand of spells knock out in the Zed, backup Zed over here, which is a spell temporarily. And whenever you have a bunch of spells, it's like, who's got the better unit, And being able to come down early and making your opponent play the reactive game plan is advantage, I would say.
Oh, 100%, 100%. And we do see this deny come out on one of these Steel Tempests, and wow, okay, do we actually see a Shadow Shift get played?
Wow.
I feel like every time this is a champion spell in hand, this never gets used. It's like, why not just play the Zed?
Yeah, it would be a big statement to deny one of these or to Shadow Shift. Prioritizing leveling that Zed, making sure that Zed levels this turn.
Yeah, and it looks like we're not going to go ahead and play the Shadow Shift. Instead, just going to play the deny. So this is still going to get through a decent amount of damage. 5 damage squeak here.
And achieves the same objective of leveling this Zed too. Because once the Zed is leveled, we already see the Overwhelm in hand. Both it and the Shadow that it produces will have the Overwhelm. So getting double on that Overwhelm could be useful. Although, like you said, the Trundle could come down any minute now, and it will be bigger than all of this.
Yeah, and that's one of the best uses of Trundle is just, it is this kind of perma blocker that with that regen tag, it can block, regen the next turn. It can even attack to take down some more stuff as well. But we're going to need a pretty decent turn on the side of Rox to be able to stave off the aggression that's about to come down next turn, because we are going to get the over. And we have another Bastion in hand. So my gut is telling me this Zed is not going anywhere by the time the attack's open comes back over to TippyTipz.
Yeah. I don't like to call them early, but you see all the tools for what's lined up in this match here. TippyTipz is winning on board, winning on card advantage, has all the necessary tricks for any possible interaction. We see Obliterate if a big blocker came down like Trundle. We see Hush if a Lee Sin comes down to try and challenge something. And just overall, been in front of this game the whole time. And I think it comes down to having that threat and putting Rex on the back foot the whole time with that Zed. I think that's just really the highlight of this matchup for sure, is getting the Zed early.
Yeah, it's funny. You mentioned not liking to call games early. If there's one card game, because I've played a ton of card games, that I've played that calling the game early feels so bad, it's definitely this game, because there's so many games where somebody I've seen is at like 1 health, has like no cards in hand, and somehow slowly but surely grinds their way back into it, which is one of the things I love about this game. It's truly not over until it's over in Legends of Runeterra.
Yeah.
And here's the Bastion and the Vlad emote. And yeah, not much Rox is going to be able to do about this. I don't even with the spell shield, we'd need like 2 Steel Tempests or something like that, or a Concussive Palm and a Steel Tempest. And even then, you'd have to, because now we have the spell shield on the clone as well.
Yeah.
Hell, to actually deal with both of them.
Well, being able to, both having Overwhelm is huge here too. Because you can't get it in with a block. Both having spell shield, can't get it in with a spell.
Oh, does this
breaks this shield on the Zed, pumps the toughness on the other side. Okay, and then now we see the stun.
We're alive.
We're alive, yeah.
We're alive, yeah. We're alive. Okay, we'll see if that is going to matter though, because it does look like TippyTipz is 100% in control of this game, 100% the aggressor.
Has the most gas, Has the most gas, a deep med to refill next turn. Not that he needs any more cards than what he has in hand. And still is not going to lose anything on this board. You see the Guiding Touch on the Eye of the Dragon for the 1 value trade that Rex was trying to get.
Mm-hmm.
So...
And even if, like, Rox gets, like, a Lee Sin or something down, we already... So it just has so many answers to almost anything that Rox can play here. Even has the deep med to dig for more, like you mentioned. And yeah, just too much in control of this game, I think, for Rox to be able to come back here. We'll see what kind of shenanigans we come up with, though. Look, damage through onto the Zed. And wow, I'm actually surprised we're hushing this Dragonling here.
Well, I think TippyTipz sees this game closing next turn and taking out this Dragon ability to lifesteal. I don't think the damage on the Zed was going to really weaken it enough to die, but I think
well, we have a deny anyway, so apparently it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and a replacement Hush here for the last one. So this is too much. We see a Mentor 2. Probably going to use the Mentor to buff one of these 1/2s and get another side threat in case there is any possible way that Zed could die. Nope.
Oh, no.
Going big
We're
on
going
Zed.
all in. We're going
Big
all
on
in
Zed
on
here. Yeah.
Oh, boy. And yeah, this is the power of Lee Sin Zed. This is why a lot of people tend to play the Zed version. It can be aggressive drawing the Lee Sin. We literally, I don't Tippy, right? So we're winning the game with Zed here. And wow, it's a big Zed. 9-7, 2 overwhelms. Seems like a pretty good card. Just going to throw that out there.
Yeah. No shield. Would have to come up with more stuns, but we've seen at least 3, maybe 4 stuns already played from Rex.
Yeah.
With a block.
There is Will as well.
Yeah, can block 2 of this. So only 1 stun needed to survive here. But we do see this deny. No. Well, I'll tell you what I do see is the Vlad emote. Is that Vlad? Yeah.
Seen a lot of Vlad emotes this game.
Slain,
and the Battle Fury. I was gonna say Battle Fury too, and wow, and the Elixir of Iron. Can't play the deny.
Oh, this is gonna be the biggest hush of this tournament so far. The saddest.
Oh, feels bad, man.
Yep.
Feels bad,
13 mana investment back down to 4. Yeah.
Well, I guess in an environment where Hush exists, Battle Fury doesn't. So. Oh, that feels bad. Tippy gonna take it there though. That's a 2-0 from
That's
Tippy.
a 2-0. Yeah, that was pretty quick end to that game. The Zed just beat him over the head. We'll go back to the caster screen here. Try and find another match. There's probably somebody still out there playing. That match ended pretty quickly.
All right, round 2 in the books, and TippyTipz takes it home versus RoxRex. So awesome time casting all day. So guys, do not forget to subscribe and turn on the bell if you want to get notified when all the other rounds go up. Looking forward to getting those out to you guys. So as always, everybody though, stay healthy, stay positive. I hope shit just works for you, and peace out.